Hey, today we're going to be making baguettes. So the first thing you need is, of course, your stand mixer. The second thing you're going to need is a scale. So, after we add 500 grams of flour, we're going to be adding 1 gram of malt. You're then going to want to sprinkle the 1 gram of malt into the mixing bowl. And after you're done sprinkling all that malt in, you're just going to want to take a spoon and gently stir around the ingredients. The next step is that we're going to want to measure 350 grams of water. Here you can see me struggling again with getting 350 grams of water, but as always, it's important to be precise with your measurements. But before you put that into the mixing bowl, make sure to note the temperature of the water. You can see me using a thermostat to find this. I like to stay around 67 degrees Fahrenheit as I've been using that temperature for a while. After you're done measuring the temperature of the water, let's just go ahead and add that to the mixing bowl. After you're done adding the water to the mixing bowl, just take a spatula or a wooden spoon and just mix around the ingredients for a bit. This can be quite tedious, but it's important to do this for a while. After you're done mixing, it should look something like this. What you really want to look for is that most of the flour is incorporated into the dough. And congrats! That's the first step of the process. Now you're going to want to cover up the mixing bowl with a lid like that and let it rest for around 30 minutes. But you have to wait a bit for a break. The next step is we're going to go and preemptively measure the rest of the ingredients we need for the next step of the process. So go ahead and measure 10 grams of water. Again, be precise, it's important. Next up, we are going to measure 10 grams of salt.
10.0.
And after the salt, we're going to measure 3 grams of yeast. After your dough has rested for 30 minutes, we're just going to sprinkle in that salt we previously measured. You're then going to want to fold in that salt. You don't have to do it for a long time though. You're then going to take that yeast and also sprinkle it in, making sure to fold it in just as you did with the salt. You're then going to want to set up your mixer with the hook attachment. And after the bowl is securely attached to the mixer, you're going to want to set the speed to 1 and let it mix for 1 minute and 30 seconds. And after the 1 minute and 30 seconds is over, you're going to want to take the bowl off the mixer, and to make sure everything's properly incorporating, take a spatula or wooden spoon and fold the dough. After that, put the bowl back on the mixer and let it mix at 1 speed for another 1 minute and 30 seconds. And after the second 1 minute and 30 seconds are over, take the bowl once again off the mixer and fold the dough again. after you folded the dough, put the bowl back on the mixer and at speed 2, mix the dough for 3 minutes. Halfway through the 3 minutes, take the 10 grams of water that you previously measured and add it to the dough. After those 3 minutes, you're going to want to take the bowl off the mixer once again. It's now time for the window pane test. To do this, you're going to want to wet your hands and then take a chunk off the dough. With the chunk of dough, you're going to want to slightly spread it in the air close to a light source. If you can stretch the dough without it breaking and the light is moving through the dough, it means that your bread is ready for the next step. If that's not working, just mix the dough for a while longer and try again. You're going to want to take a container then, like such, and a bit of olive oil, and put a little bit of olive oil at the bottom of the container. You're then going to want to spread the olive oil around with your fingers, making sure it's covering all the sides and the bottom of the container. After the olive oil thoroughly covers the container, you're going to want to take the dough and put it inside the container, as such. Next, you're going to want to take the dough as such and lift it with your fingers right in the middle of the dough. Let the dough fall so that it covers the front hanging piece of dough. Flip the container and once again, grab the dough in the middle and let it drop so that it covers the front hanging piece of dough. You're then going to want to rotate the dough so that it's vertical instead of horizontal. And then you're going to want to find a top to the container so that you can then let it rest for at least 1 hour and 30 minutes.